What if I told you that two broke designers, drowning in rent they couldn't afford, turned 3 air mattresses on their apartment floor into one of the most valuable hospitality companies in history? Not a hotel, not a travel agency, something nobody had a name for yet. Today, Airbnb operates in over 220 countries and regions. It hosts more than 7 million listings, and it has fundamentally changed the way the entire world thinks about travel, home, and belonging. But how do they do it? And more importantly, what do you learn from it? The origin story. It's 2007. San Francisco. Design conference season. Hotels. Sold out. 2 roommates, Brian Chesky and Gebbia, are staring at an empty apartment and an empty bank account. Their solution? Rent out air mattresses in their living room and offer guests a home-cooked breakfast. They called it Air Bed and Breakfast. 3 guests paid. The concept worked, but when they pitched it to investors, they were laughed out of the room. 7 major investors passed. One said, and I'm paraphrasing, who would ever stay in a stranger's home? It seemed absurd, dangerous, even. But Chesky, Gebbia, and their third co-founder, Nathan Blecharczyk, weren't deterred. They kept iterating, and in 2008, they launched the site publicly during the Democratic National Convention in Denver, another sold-out hotel city. To keep the lights on, they sold novelty cereal boxes. Yes, actual cereal. Obama O's and Captain McCain's. They raised $30,000 selling breakfast cereal. Y Combinator founder Paul Graham later said he funded them not because he believed in the idea, but because he believed in the founders who were crazy enough to sell cereal to survive. The idea that changed everything. Here's the thing about Airbnb's model that most people miss. They didn't build hotels. They didn't own property. They built trust. Airbnb is a marketplace, a 2-sided platform connecting people who have space with people who need it. And at the center of that platform, a carefully engineered trust system. Reviews, verified IDs, secure payments, host profiles, guest ratings. Every single feature was designed to answer one question. How do we get strangers to trust each other enough to share a home? This was revolutionary. Before Airbnb, the idea of sleeping in a stranger's bed was unthinkable for most people. After Airbnb, it became normal. They didn't just build a product. They built a new social norm, the growth engine. So how do they grow? Let's talk about strategy. Because Airbnb's growth story is a masterclass in guerrilla marketing and product-led growth. The Craigslist hack. In the early days, the team discovered that many of their target users were listing on Craigslist. So they built a tool, technically against Craigslist terms of service, that let Airbnb hosts cross-post their listings to Craigslist with a single click. Overnight, Airbnb's inventory appeared in front of millions of Craigslist users. It was scrappy, it was bold, and it worked. Beautiful photography. Early on, Chesky noticed that listings with bad photos weren't converting. So he and Gebbia personally rented cameras and went door to door photographing New York City listings themselves. Bookings in NYC doubled. They scaled the program. Professional photography became a cornerstone of the Airbnb brand promise. The lesson? When in doubt, do things that don't scale. Find a bottleneck. Fix it manually. Then automate. Community as a moat. Airbnb invested heavily in their host community. Meetups, forums, host education programs, and eventually a whole host advisory board. They turned hosts from vendors into brand ambassadors. When you own the community, you own the platform. Why Airbnb works. The 5 pillars. Now let's break down exactly why Airbnb succeeded where others failed. 5 pillars. 5 reasons the model works. Radical supply. Traditional hotels are constrained by construction. Airbnb's inventory is every home on Earth. The supply is, theoretically, unlimited, and they never had to build a single room. Unique experiences. A tree house in Costa Rica. A converted castle in Scotland. A floating houseboat in Amsterdam. Airbnb offers what no chain hotel can. The feeling of actually living somewhere. That emotional differentiation is priceless. Price flexibility. Hosts set their own prices. This means Airbnb can serve budget backpackers and luxury travelers at the same time. One platform, infinite price points. Network effects. More hosts attract more guests. More guests attract more hosts. This virtuous cycle creates a competitive moat that gets stronger every single day. This is called a network effect. and it's one of the most powerful forces in business. Belonging. Airbnb's actual tagline, belong anywhere. They understood that travel is emotional. People don't just want a place to sleep. They want to feel like they belong. That positioning set them apart from every competitor in the space. Challenges and controversies. It hasn't all been smooth sailing. Airbnb has faced serious challenges, and how they handle them reveals just as much about their success as the wins do. Regulatory battles. Cities like New York, Paris, Barcelona, and Berlin pushed back hard. Airbnb was accused of driving up rents, hollowing out neighborhoods, and operating like a hotel without a hotel license. They've spent millions on lobbying and legal battles, and continue to navigate a complex global regulatory landscape. Safety incidents. There have been high-profile cases of property damage, fraud, and guest safety issues. Each incident tested Airbnb's trust model. Their response? Improve the system. Introduce Air Cover, a comprehensive protection program for both hosts and guests. They invested in the infrastructure to make trust real, not just theoretical. COVID-19. In March 2020, travel stopped. Overnight, Airbnb lost 80% of its business in 8 weeks. The company laid off 1,900 employees. Many wrote them off as done. Instead, they adapted. They shifted focus to local, long-term stays. They promoted remote, work-friendly listings. They streamlined the company and went public in December 2020, during a pandemic, and one of the most successful IPOs of the decade. Their stock opened at nearly double the offer price. Airbnb by the numbers. Let's put Airbnb's scale in perspective. Over 7 million active listings in 220-plus countries and regions. For comparison, the world's top hotel chains combined have around 5 million rooms. More than 1.5 billion guest arrivals since founding. Revenue of over $9.9 billion in 2023, their most profitable year ever. A market cap that has topped $70 billion, making it worth more than Marriott, Hyatt, and Hilton combined at various points. All of that. No property ownership. Just software, trust, and community. 5 lessons every entrepreneur must steal. So what's the takeaway? What can you actually apply from the Airbnb story? 1. Solve your problem. Chesky and Gebbia didn't run focus groups. They were broke and needed rent money. The best businesses start with a real, personal pain point. 2. Do things that don't scale first. Professional photography, Craigslist hacks, selling cereal. None of it scaled. But each one proved the concept and bought time. Don't wait for perfect. Build, measure, learn. 3. Build around trust. Whatever you're selling, identify the trust barrier and destroy it. Trust is the foundation of every marketplace. 4. Rejection is data. 7 investors said no. Most founders would have quit. Chesky called it fundraising while homeless. Use rejection to sharpen your pitch, not kill your spirit. 5. Tell a story, not a feature list. Airbnb doesn't sell rooms. It sells belonging. It sells adventure. It sells memories. Emotion drives decisions. Lead with your story. Airbnb started on an air mattress, with no funding, no industry connections, and an idea that almost everyone said would fail. Today, it's changed the way billions of people experience the world. The question isn't whether a great idea can win. History has answered that. The question is, what's your air mattress moment? If this video gave you one new way to think about business, entrepreneurship, or building something that matters, hit that like button. Subscribe so you never miss a breakdown like this one. And drop in the comments, what business story do you want us to cover next? We'll see you in the next one.